Okay, so one of your questions is going to be, well, if I buy furniture, what's going to keep it from flying around and clobbering me? You can do simple L brackets that you will L on the bottom here, go out and onto the floor, and you screw straight down into the floor. Hi everyone, so as you can see, I'm standing in front of a Goodwill. If you're going to outfit a van or a car or anything for the very first time, I really strongly suggest you get Goodwills and all the thrift stores. Value Village is a really big one. Thrift stores, you should be able to save 2/3. With a little luck, you can save 2/3 of the price of new stuff. Of course, you're going to take all you have at home with you, but if you don't have it at home, always look at a thrift store first. So let's go inside now and see what they've got in there. So this is actually something I think might be useful in the van. I always check out the furniture real closely, but it's pretty open. You got a surface here. You could tuck your stove in here and then cook here or right here or put some books here. You know, it gives you some real options with two surfaces. And then your big open area underneath, you can put your 5-gallon bucket in there. You can put your cooler in there. Lots of things can go in there. So here's something I think I would give serious thought to using. You could actually make this your bed. This is wide enough for most people's bed. It's not quite long enough, but you could build a piece of plywood extension and make it long enough really easily. And this thing is 25 bucks. It's got drawers on that side open, all the organization space underneath. You can even mount a plywood across there, so you had more, a second layer. If you got an empty van, this is a very good start on a bed, I think. The only thing you have to do is find an extension of the same height. So you gotta have an imaginative mind. What could I do with that? And turning this into a bed would be a good one. So here's something else I found. You know, these things work perfectly in a van or a minivan. And just set this thing in there and you're golden. This is $4. Now that is a really good deal. Some of the stuff we're going to see here today is not really a good deal, but that strikes me as a good deal. And yeah, I'd buy that and put that in my van. So here's another one. This is just a little shelf unit. It's ready-made, it's organized. You got an empty van, you take it in there and you drop it and boom, you got organization. It's $10. So that seems like a pretty good deal. Good organization for $10. So when you're in the thrift store, be sure and pick up a warm winter coat. So of course you're going to want to bring everything you possibly can from home, but this is the pots and pans selection at Goodwill. Just look at all of this stuff. It's pretty amazing. And this is better quality than most. You'll be able to find something in here. I recommend that you kind of need at a minimum 1 pot. I would suggest 2 quart. You can cook most things you're going to ever cook in a 2 quart. And then you'll need a frying pan. Eggs, hamburgers, lots of things you need a frying pan for. And these are all reasonably priced. Of course, you're going to want a lid for your frying pan and pot. And of course, they have lots and lots and lots of lids here. They also have a very good selection of silverware. Duffel bags, all kinds of bags make good storage and organization. And here at Goodwill, they got a huge selection. Lots of duffel bags. They fold down once you've used them. And then of course you just start refilling them again. And when they're stored away, they take up no space at all. I love duffel bags and bags in general for organization. Yeah, and you should have enough blankets at home, but if you don't, go to a thrift store, look at the selection, and you want to make sure they're plenty big. You don't want to get a little blanket that won't fit you. So I'm inside the Goodwill, and they had this fantastic deal. Here's a 3-gallon, I would guess, water jug for $2.99. I'd buy that thing right up. Really good deal. So we're at the Restore, which is a Habitat for Humanity store, and they have a lot of great stuff. But this stuff struck out to me. It's a Coleman Extreme Cooler. It looks like it's in great shape, well thought out, and it's $10. So if you need to just buy a cooler, this is the way to do it. Great deal at a thrift store. You just got to keep looking and find that buried treasure. Let's keep looking. So here's another thing at the Restore store, and I think this would be a good choice. There's tons and tons of furniture, and they all work well, but they're so heavy. This is quite light. It's cheap, which is what that means. It's $5. You could put it on build a little box to put it on, or find something to put it on. I think this would be something to really consider. It doesn't have the inside shells, but you can just easily put them in there and cut a piece of plywood to fit. This would be really, for $5, this would make your van build go really. So oddly enough, a thrift store can be something great for something like a baseball bat. Now, why would you want a baseball bat? You're living in a car, van, or RV. Well, you might want it for self-defense. So a baseball bat or a golf club. You know, a cop comes along and sees it there. He doesn't think it's a weapon. He just thinks it's a baseball bat. You like baseball or golf. So a good weapon might be something to consider at a thrift store as well. So I know some of you are thinking about doing YouTube, or you just like photography. That'll be your hobby. Well, you're going to want a tripod. And so thrift stores this one has 3 different tripods. And this one's $8. And that's pretty cheap for a tripod. And we've also talked about umbrellas. You know, a lot of people, get extra umbrellas and come and throw them, put them in here. And so an umbrella is not a bad idea. Over here, you've got organization. I love these little plastic drawers. I think these things are fantastic for organization in your rig. You got to secure them, but once you have, you're good. And just all kinds of ways you can organize yourself. And you got to be creative, really creative. Think differently. Think kind of out of the box of what can work in your rig to organize the stuff you need. So you're gonna need a step, and if you don't have a step at home, here's one for $4. It's orange, if you can see here, and so that means some days of the week orange will be half off, quarter off, something. Think about watching the tags come back when the tags are on sale. It's money in your pocket, and if you don't have much, that's a very, very good thing. So one thing we're all going to have is some organization needs in our bathroom, and so these are common. You can hang this off anything in your bedroom. A zippered pocket down here, and more zippered pockets, and there you go. There's great organization. You're going to go inside and take your shower. You just fold this thing up, take it inside. So this is $4. Again, that seems like a little too much for me, but prices have gone up, and thrift stores have gone up. And this is in excellent condition. This would be a steal at $4. So having containers to put things in is really handy. You don't want to get bugs in your cereal or your rice or your flour. So having some of these and water jugs, more water jugs, the better. So these would be handy for a lot of us. So one of the things you're going to need, you're going to want, most of us don't live actually inside the rig, we live out of it. So you're going to want a camp chair. And this one had to have at least one. This is just the one camp chair, but these are a little bit hard to find at thrift stores. They go fast. This one's $8. Seems sturdy. You'd have to open it up and play with it and make sure it seems solid and there are no rips and tears. But if it is $8 for looks like a pretty good camp chair, it would be a screaming deal. So yeah, here's an ice maker, and you think, Bob, why would I want an ice maker? A good way to go is to create your own ice. It actually can draw less power. Then you take the ice, you put it in a cooler, and now you've got your cooler full of ice. And you've still got an ice maker if you want ice. So this can work well. Actually, it works better with a freezer. If you have it as a freezer, you can freeze blocks. You can get a 1-gallon milk jug, fill that full of water, freeze it, then put that into your cooler. But then you have also the freezer. So if you want ice cream or meat or vegetables, you have a freezer and a fridge. But I do know people who do nothing but an ice maker, and they get their refrigeration through it. Something to consider. It's $15. Okay, so one of your questions is going to be, well, if I buy furniture, what's going to keep it from flying around and clobbering me? You can do simple L brackets that you will L on the bottom here, go out and onto the floor, and you screw straight down into the floor and back against the wall. If your van is open and you can see it, then you can find the ribs and do L brackets into the ribs. Okay, here's an idea that maybe you haven't thought of. In the winter, when it's cold, you get a metal. You can do it with a plastic bottle, but you're going to boil water, put your water in here, Put that underneath your sheets on your bed, and when you get in bed, it's going to be really nice and warm. And by then it will cool off, won't burn you, and so you can sleep a lot warmer with boiling water in there beforehand. This is $2. That's a pretty good deal, and I would want it to be really sure it wasn't going to leak in my bed. You'd have to test it for a while and use it. So here's something you might be interested in. This is, I'm not exactly sure what this is, but it could easily be used as a mattress. There's 2 of them, and they're $18 each. I wouldn't be surprised if you bought more than one. And I don't know how long it is, but it looks to be about the length of a mattress. If it didn't cover your whole bed top to bottom, you could fill in your foot. You know, you could fill that area in. But yeah, 18 bucks for a mattress isn't bad. One of the things you need is a good warm blanket because it gets surprisingly cold in the van. And so here's a whole ton of camp comforters. I bet you could find one you'd really like to have. Also, throw pillows. Throw pillows are really handy when you're lounging in your rig, and you can't beat the prices here. So comforters, blankets, and, well, of course, sheets and throw pillows, all good things. So as you've seen, you can go into these thrift stores and find a lot of really good stuff that will make your life better, you need, and that are really pretty cheap. Not always, sometimes they're way overpriced, but sometimes they're really good prices. You got to be careful. Now this is great for a lot of us on really small, tight budgets. But what about those of us who aren't on such a tight budget? We can afford to go and buy anything we want. Well, I think there's a reason you should consider coming to a thrift store as well. Everything that's in that thrift store, if it weren't here, would be in the landfill. And we would be buying new ones. They'd be mining for products all over the world to make the stuff with. They'd be shipping it, probably to China, and where it would be turned into a product. That product would then be shipped to the United States, where we'd buy it and we'd have it 6 months, a year, 2, and then we'd throw it away and it'd be in the landfill. All that stuff is eliminated by just turning it into the thrift store, going in and buying it there. And a lot of this stuff we looked at isn't stuff you absolutely have to have, but you know, it makes our lives better. And so there's nothing wrong with having a better life. I'm all 100% in favor of that. So whether you're just on a tight budget and you got to come here and save money because you want to outfit your rig, or if you're not on a tight budget, you're doing a really good thing by coming here and buying at a thrift store. Now you're even in fashion. It's a fashion statement to go to the thrift store and buy your stuff, and you can be kind of proud of it. Yeah, I got that at the thrift store. You know, it's kind of thrift store chic. So in every way, we all win if we go to thrift stores, and I hope you'll consider it. So if you got anything out of this video, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later. Bye now.